All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a review for the brand new series on Disney Plus, Disney's new streaming service, sort of their launch series, which is Star Wars: The Mandalorian. We'll do our review for the premiere episode, Chapter 1. Alright, so quite a few people asked for me to go ahead and give my thoughts through on The Mandalorian, so I watched the first episode. I guess there's about 3 episodes out now, so if you guys haven't seen it on streaming, I did a video yesterday on the Disney Plus streaming service, and I think it's a pretty good service, overall. I mean, it's about $7 a month American. You can try it for a week, and I guess cancel if you don't want to do the first month or whatever. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check it out. But in yesterday's video, we go through, we look at the different stuff they have. Basically, Disney Plus has got the Marvel license, they got the Star Wars license, of course. Everything that Disney owns, or at least a good portion of the different movies and cartoons and like the classic Disney classic stuff. Some fun '90s animated series and different series that Disney owns that you can watch on Disney Plus. But they're sort of premiere launch series, which is this series right here that we're talking about. The Mandalorian is a brand new series, so it's made for the network. I'd say it's probably made to promote the network, so it's one that they're kind of putting at the forefront. It's right there at the top. And after watching the first episode, I can see why. It is a really fun series from the first episode. It also features Pedro Pascal, who of course played in Game of Thrones, if you guys remember, Oberyn Martell, right? So you guys remember that, the Viper and the Mountain. You guys remember that fight? So that was a really good one. So the Mandalorian is played by him, which is I think that's just a great casting choice, because then you take. You get the crossover appeal of fans who love the character in Game of Thrones. It's, a lot of Game of Thrones fans, any that remain after the finale, might also be Star Wars fans too. So you get kind of that crossover appeal for him to kind of start there. And I believe it's kind of created by Jon Favreau, which is cool as well too. And I mean, we don't need to go into the, how epic and how, I guess, legendary Star Wars is. Obviously, Star Wars is a property that has, a ton of fans by itself. You have so many people that, generations of people, families, maybe their dad, watched or their grandpa watched the original trilogy at this point. And so, it's something like the original trilogy of Star Wars, I think, will stand as one of the greatest trilogies of all time ever created in cinema. Maybe it is the greatest, because if you look at, the amount of just merchandise that it generated, you can literally go and buy Star Wars figures today if you go to Walmart or a toy shop and get, figures from those trilogy movies, all those, decades and decades ago. Of course, they did the 3 movies, kind of the prequels, which were not as well received. Some people like them, a lot of people don't like them. Some people just want to, forget about them or act like Jar Jar, forget they even exist at all, right? A lot of people don't like them, but after seeing the first episode of The Mandalorian, I really like the feel of it. I think it's really good. It's sort of got a feel for me where it's like. It's close to the original trilogy, I think, in that it doesn't kind of have, like in the prequel series, they went a little bit more silly with some of the stuff. They went a little bit more cartoony, and even though sometimes Star Wars does that, like you get a little bit of comedy here and there, just kind of funny moments. This first episode, it's I guess you can watch it for all ages. I'm not going to say like it's a really dark premiere, but there are some cool things in it that remind me. There's a scene in Berserk, for example, if you've ever seen Berserk, where Guts goes into a bar and he gets into a fight, and you see something like that at the beginning of The Mandalorian here, where he goes into bounty hunter, right? Of course, like Boba Fett, for example, from the original trilogy. And so the Mandalorian, he goes into this bar to get this one of his bounties, one of the people he's going for. And the person's actually being, or the creature, whatever, Star Wars, whatever it is being picked on by some others. So there's this one kill right off the bat where he dodges a shot, and then he shoots the door instead of just shooting the person. The person or the creature is like halfway between the door. He shoots the door, so the door because he hits the thing, it closes and it cuts the person in half. But they sort of, they kind of show it, but then they don't really show it, right? Because it's again, they found a pretty good kind of vibe to where I feel like it's got a little bit of the maturity or the darkness in it, but not too much to where it doesn't have the light of Disney on it too. And that's the thing with the Disney stuff, is that it can mix in a little bit of, you can have some kills and some stuff like this, which are pretty cool. And the gunfight at the end, I think, is really awesome too. But they can't go overboard with the gore or overboard with anything like that. So they kind of half show, but then they don't, right? So it's kind of one of those. But I feel like it does have a good vibe from the first episode, that it's kind of more serious, that people who are adults can watch it through and really, really like it, really enjoy it. But it also has kind of the adventure aspect of things too, because you have him and he's in his he goes to his ship, for example, with one of the bounties, and then you have this underwater creature that kind of comes up in the ice and grabs onto it, and then he goes out with like a taser, Star Wars taser, big taser thing, and electrocutes or tasers thing, and then it goes away, and then they go off. So you get kind of the adventure stuff with the different sort of locations, and that which look beautiful, by the way, to watch, obviously, through just like movie quality. Like, you go to the movies, you watch Star Wars, the quality can fit in with any of the other Star Wars movies, and can hold a candle to it, maybe even better than a lot of them. So it looks absolutely impressive. The landscapes look amazing. Everything looks really good. And it is fun. So he goes off to so he gets the one bounty, he brings it in, and he gets the payment and everything. And then he gets kind of a bigger job, which later on is referred to, or is revealed to be, I guess this is a bit spoilers here, Baby Yoda, who's, I guess, it says here 50 years old. So it's kind of cool. And then at the end, they've got this great scene where he kind of goes to touch it in. For me, one of my favorite parts of the first episode is the battle droid, or the bounty droid. The bounty droid is pretty funny in that someone is paid for a bounty to be done to get the Baby Yoda, or to kill the Baby Yoda and bring back the Baby Yoda's corpse. So it's kind of got, again, a little bit of the dark kind of themes to it, that you're sending off a robot to kill this Baby Yoda thing. Is really cute, stuff like that. So it's easy to get behind the motivations of the Mandalorian, that eventually, spoiler warning, in the end, kills the bounty droid after he's kind of used him up. But he's sort of pissed off once he finds out that there's a bounty droid there to capture the or to capture the bounty, or to capture the Baby Yoda, which is it is fun to see. But I love the gunfight. He's like, oh no, it's a bounty droid. This thing comes in and just starts like shooting up the whole place, and it's pretty damn good, to be honest. I'm wondering if the Mandalorian would have been able to get through all that without the bounty droid kind of providing a nice distraction. And then there's the fun part where it goes to where it mixes in a little bit of the comedy with the other stuff, which I think the Disney stuff, even the Marvel stuff too, they mix in the comedy really good. So you have kind of you have a lot of genres, right? You have kind of the sci-fi, you have the action, you have a little bit of darkness here and there with some of the kills and stuff like that, but they don't always show it 100%. And then you mix in kind of some comedy to make it lighter, so that your younger audience is really going to like it, which they always did with the Marvel movies too. The Marvel movies, Josh Whedon kind of, I guess I'd say he sort of perfected that formula where you mix in a little bit of comedy too, to kind of make it lighter and make it fun, like Hulk. And then we have a Hulk, that kind of stuff, where when he smashes Loki, right, for example, and he grabs him and he gets a hold of him and he smashes him in the ground. So you mix that in too, and you get kind of a nice kind of overall sort of mixture of a lot of different genres, and it creates kind of a complete sort of package. And I feel like The Mandalorian has that same kind of feel to it as well too, with, like I said, with the bounty droid kind of being kind of funny as it comes in and it wants to self-destruct because it thinks that it's cornered, and then he has to keep arguing with it to tell it not to self-destruct because it doesn't want its manufacturer's parts, its design, to be able to be back traced, so it has to self-destruct so that nobody, I guess, copyright or nobody takes the design and produces it for itself, right? So that's fun. Also, the part with the minigun, like the creatures that are protecting the Baby Yoda, which actually you can totally understand from the bounty hunter who we're kind of following through here as he's going in. They bring in the minigun, which is really cool, which is just like a big, laser minigun thing that's like shooting all over the place and everything. And so he ends up countering them by taking out the one of the shooter, and grabbing it and then shooting around to take out all the others that are protecting the baby Yoda, and then shooting in the door to kind of find it at the end. Killing the battle droid or the bounty droid, because the bounty droid wants to take the baby dad, right? So it's a really fun first episode. You can watch it for free, so there's really no reason for me. That's as much of a recap as I guess I'll do for it. With it being something you can just watch right now online streaming, you just go there and you just watch it, right? And then if you don't want to stay with Disney Plus afterwards, you can just cancel the service after that. And I don't think you have to pay for the first month. You can just try it for the week and cancel it right away. So I'm gonna check out the second and third episode because I did think it was really good. I thought it was really fun, and I do like Star Wars. I've always been a Star Wars fan. The last few years, I have fallen behind a bit with the last couple of movies. I think I missed the last couple that they're doing. Obviously, now that Disney has the license, they're going to create a whole universe for Star Wars. There's going to be lots of different series and everything else they're going to do for it. I mean, they're going to maximize that license to full tilt, which is a good thing because I mean it is one of the premier, I guess, franchises in media, right? Is Star Wars. So to have Disney have it and to be creating this kind of content for it, I think is really good because even though it's got kind of some of the comedy and some of the lighter aspects to it, it also has the sense of, okay, this is also a bounty hunter too, and he is going in and he's taking people and he's doing this thing. So it's got enough there, I feel like, for your younger audience in a lot of ways, but it also has enough there for your hardcore Star Wars fans. And then it's got a cool feel for your adults too, who can watch it too and also enjoy it. So it's fun for the whole family, I guess. I don't know. So I liked it. I liked Chapter 1. I'm going to check out Chapter 2 and see what I think. And also like just to see it's visually very, very beautiful and everything. And I mean, like I watched it on a monitor, and it just looks, incredible. Or if you guys watch it on a big screen, high def TV or something with the streaming service, it looks really, really amazing. So I'm gonna give the first episode a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was really close to perfect. I did have high expectations for it going in because I knew like, okay, this is their premium series that they're gonna put a lot into and make sure it's really good. And it is really good. I liked it a lot. I understand why so many people have been recommending it now, and I want to check out the second and third episodes and see if they're comparatively as good as the premiere was. But I thought the first episode was really good, and unfortunately for this one, they're doing the weekly release kind of schedule, so you can't Netflix watch the whole season right at once. But actually, I kind of think that's sort of a good thing in some ways too, because it kind of spaces out a bit and builds some anticipation in between the episodes, which you don't get if you just drop a whole season on people right at once. Also, it may allow them to do kind of better quality too if they have to kind of film it over time and release it over time. It may give them some more time to kind of edit and finish up the season rather than having to hit a deadline and release the whole thing right at once. So great stuff. I'm sure Star Wars fans will be absolutely in love with it. And I did like it. I did enjoy it. And I'm going to check out at least the second episode, maybe the third, and then decide if I'm going to keep. I've got a few days left to decide if I'm going to keep the first month of Disney Plus. Maybe I will, because it is pretty cool. That'll be it for my review for the first episode of The Mandalorian, guys. Let me know what you thought about it. Leave your comments below. And if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.